He's in various locations in the city. If there's any particular spots you would like him to plant a tree at, then let him know. And the final item he's got is he's going to attend the Ohio Tree Care Conference on January 29th through February 1st next year. And that's the end of Ron's report. Are there any matters that people want me to raise with Ron at all? If not, I'd like to invite Matthew Roberts up to the podium to introduce himself and the suggestions he's got. So, go ahead, please.
All right. Well, good evening. My name is Matthew Roberts. I'm a resident of Athens. I'm coming to you tonight with a few hats on. I sit on the city's Environment and Sustainability Commission. I work for Upgrade Athens County. And I'm also a co-chair of the Appalachian Ohio Sierra Club. So I'm coming tonight to present the Arbor Day Foundation's Energy Saving Trees program. Sounds like it's good timing. It looks like you're getting a Tree City USA designation lined up. This program could tie in pretty well to the city's goals and to the goals that I'm representing and the groups that I'm representing as well. So I spoke with the representative at the Arbor Day Foundation. They have this program called the Energy Saving Trees program. Essentially what it is it's a program that allows community members to take a free tree, plant it in their property, and see through a dashboard system the energy savings that will accumulate from that tree planting from seedling to full growth. This has been happening in a number of states with a number of partners. Primarily, Arbor Day has been connecting municipalities with their local utility, and the local utility is recognizing it as a good way to reduce peak demand for electricity loads, and so they're offering financial assistance to offer free trees to the residents. There's a number of different ways that this program can be introduced, not through just utility donation, but other community groups that want to invest in this for a city, a number of different financing schemes. But I'm coming to you to essentially give you the idea and show that it could be a great investment for the city of Athens, so that it can communicate to its citizens the importance of growing shade trees, but how it connects to other themes like energy saving opportunities. So I'll just give you a brief rundown, and then I'd like to pass off information that I learned through a demonstration presentation and the contact info to the person I spoke with. And of course, I'm here to be a liaison between the effort if the city would like to adopt this program in some way or communicate with potential partners on bringing this to the city. So what I learned briefly is, and many of you probably know this, for every $1 spent on planting a tree, there's lifetime benefits of $9 to $15, which is pretty big. The Arbor Day Foundation, of course, works to provide free trees to community members, and their real selling point is they offer a dashboard system where residents can go on their property and pick out what trees they'd like on the free tree list, show through GIS mapping where they would plant it and the energy savings expected to be from that planting. So it's very interactive. They use a system called iTree. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. It's developed in partnership with the U.S. Forest Service. So what they really promote is that this is interactive, this is turnkey, this is very educational. And someone that works for or serves the city in a way that helps promote its sustainability efforts or its potential. I see this as a really great opportunity to have that educational experience. Some of the benefits are media attention about city operations, sustainability goals that the city hopes to reach, educational opportunities for youth and adult education, and of course the piece I'm most interested in is communicating the city's ability, residents' ability to reduce peak demand and save energy in the long run, which as we all know, is a very important issue as it relates to climate change at its peak issue. I'll give you a quick rundown of the costs of what this would sound like, because of course there's always some sort of price tag attached to these things. Arbor Day has different opportunities. You can do a pickup program, you can do a direct delivery program, or you can do a hybrid of the two. So if we're looking at a event to be hosted where people can come and pick up free trees and then plant them, it's a cost of about $40 to $48 per tree, which sounds high, but it's all inclusive to include administrative assistance by the Arbor Day Foundation, a call center support, so there's a number that people can call to talk about their tree and if this is the best place to plant it, the actual tree itself, the dashboard system that can be integrated on a city website, data storage so that you can actually collect data about the impact that it's making. I imagine that people that already have trees in their yard can interact with this dashboard system, having trees already planted, and see what their energy saving benefits have already been or will be in the future. So I think that's another great reason to bring it on, not just for providing free trees for people in this educational effort. They have a system where cities and organizations have taken it upon themselves as far as they know where to purchase trees. They already have partners in the area where they can get trees themselves. And in that case, it would cost $10 to $15 per tree. And that includes all of the things I mentioned. It's not the tree itself. And then in the direct delivery model, this is more for cities that really have no tree initiatives going on. It will be delivered straight to your house, and instead of a 5-foot container, which is their standard, it would come in a 1-foot container, tree seedling ready to go and in ground. And that cost is about $30 to $36 per tree. And then just depending on how a city or an organization would want to structure this program, you can hybridize that model of delivering it to the citizens.
Matt, what did you say was the cost of the first one?
$40 to $48 per tree, and that's to have an event so that trees are sitting out for an extended period of time and available to pick up.
So delivery is less expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
They're smaller trees also, aren't they?
Those are the bigger trees. So that's probably the cost is factoring into. They'll be able to source and help source bigger trees, trees that are more mature, instead of the direct delivery, which is, on-purpose seedlings and in packaging so that it won't damage in transit.
Okay, so the larger trees are at the event.
Yeah, but again, you can hybridize this in a way. You can have a smaller pickup portion and have more direct. If you know people in the area that sell trees, you can work with them directly and just get the dashboard, the administrative support, the turnkey marketing materials that can help.
So Matt, would this be available to renters or just to homeowners?
So if in that situation, renters probably wouldn't be able to do this because they don't own the property, so you'd have to work directly with landlords. But coming from my hat as an Upgrade Athens County's staff member, we work directly with landlords on energy savings. This is something that we could provide as a next step. We've already given them, many landlords, free LED light bulbs, and here's another step to keep engaging them in energy efficiency as a way to promote that to other properties.
Is there experience with this? I mean, do cities normally pay for the tree, the $48, or do they get some money from the people who are getting the tree, or how does that usually work?
I mean, there's a lot of different examples out there. I think this is in 27 states, working with 33 utilities and over 40 organizations. So it's fairly small, but I noticed that this is not happening in Ohio, and I figured that the city of Athens, especially with this tree city designation that I didn't know about, might find this appealing. in a way where, this is really an investment from the city's perspective, as far as to educate their residents and to reach sustainability goals that they hope to reach. So.
And what is the role of AEP, or the utility company, in this?
That's a discussion to be had. I don't think anyone's reached out to AEP about this. I know the Arbor Day Foundation had originally, and they said they were interested. I think what the utilities need is a community that's willing to work with them, someone to come to them directly. And there's already a relationship there. We've worked with AEP and Columbia Gas on the Community Energy Savers program.
Well, one thing that they did many years ago was a smart tree planting offer, where they would pay for trees to be planted under their power lines that were small trees, basically to replace big trees. But this again could be another way of talking to them about
exactly
tree planting.
Yeah, and it's in many ways it'll help them in the future when they have to look at managing for energy demand, and in time these trees can provide that peak reduction. And the AEP is probably the most willing utility in the state to work on energy efficiency things, so it's a good opportunity to strengthen that bond.
Well, one thing I think, this sounds like a good idea. I think what the next step is probably for you to meet with Ron Lucas during the day when he's more easily available. He's the person who coordinates tree matters for the city. He's the Assistant Service Safety Director. He works for the Service Safety Director, and it's she that has to decide, particularly when public trees are being situated, but also if the city is going to be involved in sort of organising an event like this, it'll be their resources which need to be committed, and so again she'd be the one who's ultimately going to have to make a decision.
Very true, and I do want to stress the fact that the city doesn't have to be the only participant in forking over resources. There's a number of different ways that partnerships can be established.
Well, I expect what they would probably do is expect the property owners to be paying the money into a pool, and that the city would simply be the organizer. They may be interested enough, and that's again something Ron would have to decide if they wanted to invest city funds in the purchase of trees. But there clearly needs to be some sort of organisation ability for this thing to proceed.
Yeah.
Unless there were corporate funding like AEP or some other partner.
Yeah.
Certainly. Which would make it go a lot.
Yeah, and again, Ron knows the right people to talk to at AEP locally.
Okay, that's perfect. And there's probably plenty of nonprofits that would be interested in helping promote and advance this initiative.
I think it would work in Athens,
Yeah, I kind of just stumbled across it. I was listening to a webinar. City of Orlando Sustainability Manager presented on it. They saw really great results as far as communicating energy in a way that hadn't been communicated before. They saw a really big shift in the consciousness towards moving other initiatives.
There may be some role that this group could take too in helping with the event.
Oh yeah.
Once the details, the financial
But getting
details.
the money.
Yeah, and I think Arbor Day is really going to provide a lot here. I mean, the dashboard looks really incredible. It's interesting. You can overlay different GIS maps that are already available onto their system. So, I mean, talking about a whole number of ways that the city can interact with.
And again, Ron's a good person to talk to about that because he has been involved in developing GIS maps for the city.
Yeah, perfect.
So the funding for this would go to the Arbor Day Foundation? If we're paying $48 a tree or whatever, and have this gathering and get together where we're trying to distribute them, that would go to the Arbor Day Foundation.
And it would go so that they can purchase the trees and ship them there.
Right.
I mean, it's for the trees and everything.
So and by doing this, we would become a member and would have access to the dashboard and
this
all the other
center
benefits.
Support where people can learn about these trees. They really take a look at what trees make sense to
Yeah,
plant in this
okay.
geographical region.
The
So,
educational part of it sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like you were talking earlier, or we were talking earlier, we're talking about in December planting another 15 trees in the public domain. In order for us to track those on the dashboard, would we have to pay something even though we were purchasing the trees and planting them?
That's the $10 to $15 that he mentioned.
Yeah, that's it.
So you'd have to pay, so for every tree that you planted.
Yep, that would be, per tree. Mhm. But, I mean, yeah, I think it's something you guys should explore. I have access to the PowerPoint demonstration that the person I'm in touch with at the Arbor Day Foundation. I could pass that along. I already have a number of resources I could pass on as soon as I get to a computer, too, to Ron. Probably sounds like the best person to send this to.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I really think if you take a good look at it, you'll find that, beyond the cost, the educational opportunity is fantastic.
Yeah.
In line with this Tree City USA designation
curiosity.
goes well.
Do you know what size the trees are, or you just?
I've only seen pictures from the demonstration presentation I had. They look like they vary in size and variety.
Well, you said there would be a bit assortment, but.
Yeah, and before, trees even come, residents have the opportunity to really figure out what tree would be best to place in their yard or on their property. And so that kind of helps inform what should be bought and delivered. But again, I think there's plenty of tree sellers around here.
I'm sure they'll all be on there.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Forest Service, being so close, might be interested in getting
Well,
involved
the
as
person we would involve is Ann Bonner, who's the urban tree forester for the Department of Natural Resources. Her
Okay.
office is down on East State Street.
Okay, yeah.
And she'd be the person she's our local resource when it comes to trying to figure out whether trees are healthy or where trees should be planted, along with Ron, who's also a certified arborist as well.
Yeah, sounds like there's already a lot of great knowledge here, so I figured it wouldn't be as high of a cost as most communities would take on, just not really having any initiatives going on in the first place. So.
Okay, well, thank you for the presentation. I'll pass your details on to Ron Lucas and try and make sure that you two get together.
Yep, I'd be happy to meet.
See if we can.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I don't have anything under other, although we did have a matter pop up right at the end of the meeting last week where I think it was Nancy asked about emerald ash borer attacking white fringe trees, which I found some websites that say the answer is yes. However, there are other websites and other people I've spoken to that said that the emerald ash borer will attack many different trees given the chance. And so there's no guarantee that it is actually targeting the white fringe trees. It could be an opportunistic thing. Apparently,
What I've read is it seems to be a preferred species, not quite like the ash.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
That's what that one article seemed to indicate.
yeah.
And I'm right across the street from one that's being bored at the moment, so that's what makes me a little nervous.
Yeah. Do you know if they are the emerald ash borer boars or are they something else? Because
It's a neighbor's house, so I'm afraid to
yeah,
look too close.
because the
Its leaves were looking really dismal this year, and lost in Pearl Lake. So
but
that's
trees can go into decline and then borers of other types take over. And the thing to watch for is these. I was surprised. But I was surprised how small they were.
Yes.
They are about 3/16 of an inch. No more than 2 or 3 millimeters at most. They're much smaller than the bore holes you see from other insects going
like
into
that?
trees. That or a little bit bigger, but I mean it's. I think they talk about them being quarter inch, and to me it was a little bit smaller than a quarter of an inch when I saw it.
Well, that's what I was going to look for if I could get close enough.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for their cars to be gone. So
Yeah.
Creeper in it,
Is there any other business we want to
There's another
discuss?
question that I have.
Yes.
We've talked about this before, and I don't know why, and it doesn't seem to be clear in my head. when it, when we reach an agreement with an organization who's constructing something, and then they build it, we don't have any clear way of following up. Is that right?
There's no formal way of following up. If someone doesn't follow up with the plant, if someone doesn't plant the trees that they're supposed to have planted, then it's up to the code office to enforce the city code.
But they gotta know it first, right?
Yes, they've got to know it, and that's where we can come in. We can go to a site and say, look, they haven't planted the trees, and then Rick or one of his code officers can go to the site and confirm what we've said about it, and then they may proceed.
Okay, you can do that.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
because there's a site that they're starting to put the landscaping in. It's that apartment building on East State and Charles, near
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
the Donata's Pizza. That's what
Yes,
it
it's
is.
behind there, yeah.
Yeah. And so, yesterday, they started putting the trees in. I said,
yeah.
"Ha, ha." But I looked today and they were tiny little trees. And,
Yeah, we don't mind how big the trees are when they're planted, as long as
Well,
they're
I mean, they
going to be
look like they might not.
large shade trees. That's
yeah,
the
but
main
they're
thing.
close, and I think they might be little trees.
Yeah, and if I remember that landscape, there will be some small things in there because it wasn't just that they were going to plant trees. They were going to plant a range of things, from what I remember.
Well, that's what I wondered, are they gonna be, how do I find out if they were given a chance to book their, or what do you call it, when they don't plant the tree themselves, but they put money in the bank the tree.
Oh, bank the trees. No, I don't believe that they banked
No, they didn't
trees.
bank trees,
They
but I
didn't.
don't remember what we approved for
Yeah,
that site.
yeah.
But there's a record of it.
Yes.
so-
There's an area on the other side, on the east side, that's wider. The site that I'm looking at, that I walked by, is only about 3 feet long.
Yeah, all we can do is get out the submissions that they made to us and check in the minutes and see
Well,
what
wait
it
till they're
was.
done and then I'll ask.
Oh yeah,
ask
because the other thing is that we give them 2 planting seasons, and we've
okay.
agreed with the city that now consists of fall, spring, or spring, fall.
Oh, okay.
So that within 1 year of them
Okay.
occupying a
But
building.
there's an
Until next spring.
archive, so you can go back and
Oh, yeah.
those agreements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That clears it up a lot. Thanks a lot.
yeah. Any other questions? If not, we have the minutes of the last meeting, which I think you've all got a copy of. I wrote these up straight after the meeting this time because we didn't have the video available. And so I'm hoping I got it right. I know I gave Rick a copy of these and he made a correction to them.
It's pretty dope.
And I know that Texas Roadhouse have now started, the owner of the mall has started cutting the holes for those trees to be planted.
Finally.
Finally.
So I'll move we accept the minutes as presented.
Thank you,
Oh,
John.
is there something
Did you have a
that you don't
question?
think is correct?
Well, I have one question. My memory was that Lee Gregg was here at the last meeting.
Yes, I think she
Am I
was.
wrong about that?
No, she was here.
I believe she was, yeah.
I think she gave me a ride.
Yep, yep. I will add her to the to the list. Again, that's one of the problems of not having the video. I do try and make a list. I've made a list tonight of the 6 of us who are here, and I thought I'd made the list last time as well, but maybe I didn't. I will include her on the corrected minutes.
It's sent around a sign-up sheet. And you wouldn't have to be responsible.
So I'll move that we accept the minutes as modified.
That's corrected, thank you. A second?
I'll second that.
Oh,
Okay. You can third it.
Yeah, anyway, Nancy, I'll have you. Are there any objections to approving the minutes of the last meeting? Hearing none, we have minutes of the last meeting. Our next meeting will be December the 8th, here again in the City Council chamber at 7 p.m. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.